Uh, I taught her a new trick. Now it's head treats. That's how good she is. Ready? Hiya! Good job. She missed both of them. She didn't even catch them. So disappointed. My training's gone to nothing. I will never be Ash Ketchum-all.
You've we're live.
That's good. It's kind of like how you wish, like, you can hear what they're saying on the news, like when they cut away. Like that's kind
Now
of what
you
it was
know.
like.
A lot of times we're
Yeah.
just saying like, oh, so uh, I had a really good bagel this morning. A little cream cheese on
I'm
it.
like
It
same
was nice.
everything bagel.
And then you're like, really? Was it cream cheese and with scallions or
Dude, cream cheese and jelly.
gross?
That's cream cheese and strawberry jam.
Nah, cream cheese by itself is fine. You don't need to mix anything else with it.
I
You don't.
mean,
You don't need to mess with perfection.
don't get me wrong, you're right. Like, I mean, I'm saying that cream cheese is a great standoff by itself, but damn, like sometimes you really got to mix it up with the flavor choices out here.
All right, let's get to work, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is Those Two Nerds podcast. It's Sunday. It's a little bit after 4. I am Nictus from Nictus Plays Games. Joined with me
And
today by the ever handsome, lovely, wonderful human being, Vera Coach. No subtitle.
no subtitle needed. Yeah, there will be no subtitles during this podcast, because that's just not how we roll.
That was a fucking great intro there. So
That was good. That was honestly, I think what you could do with that is you actually just like take that recording right there, that solid recording,
and just replay
use
that every week.
every week. Like that's our new intro right there. So,
got it. We figured it out right there. That's what we're gonna do from now on.
yeah, no copyright needed. But down to business.
Down to business.
We're on episode 82. Like you can't make this stuff up anymore.
82.
I think we're something consistent now. So we already got some comments rolling in from Doc himself. Cream cheese with strawberry jam was grandma's jam, dude. She taught me that trick. That is true. I did get that from there. It is delicious. And I don't care what she would do. I think she put crack in our food because there's no way it tastes that good. But it just
I loved my mother, and I will until my dying day disagree.
See, you had me going there. Like
just
really...
because she got a pass to heaven doesn't mean that everything she ever said was fucking right. Sorry, Mom, I love you.
See, you hit me right here. Like you had me right here. You had the soul, you had the passion, and then you're like, but she's fucking wrong. But real question, Valheim, 8:00 tonight, boys. I mean, I'll most likely be on. I got to go to the grocery store today, though, because I have this thing called a terrible eating habit. I eat everything, but when there's nothing to eat in the house, it makes it very hard to eat everything. So I got to get some food. But I will be on for Valheim because I will say, Valheim has I've complete me. This game is beautiful. I love it so much. I can't get enough. But
I haven't been on in a couple of days. I have other things I've been doing. So
I know. I've seen. I've talked to you, and I saw the Pokemon pictures. And I'm not gonna lie, I get a nerd chub every day. I see a Pokemon picture from you because they've been solid. Like they're solid posts. And they're well thought out. They're like, oh, I heard you like me too. Like, I mean, I'm like, that's badass. And but what is your? I know because we started a server for Valheim. What's your initial thoughts? I know you haven't played a lot, but what is your initial thoughts?
on Valheim,
Yes, on Valheim.
I think that it's a lot of fun. I think it's a really good game if you're playing with people who don't have way more time to play with you than you do, because it just seems like if they have way more time to play, then you're constantly playing catch up. Like when you get on, you're like, oh, we got to go get all this stuff because we've been playing for 7 hours today, and we're ready to go kill the boss, and you're not. So now let's go catch up. Like that's. But I felt that way in Warcraft too. Like when we would play Warcraft. So.
I mean, I could see that. Like I guess the nice thing about a lot of things is I think you always need to have like one player be ahead of everybody because it helps with the some of the knowledge, like, hey, like if I was looking for this item, where would I go find something like this? But I will say we've been playing on the server for a little bit, and I'm kind of glad to see everybody's bases. We have a lot of people that are kind of like, hey, I get that you guys can play 15 hours a day, so I'm gonna let you guys do your thing over there. But we want to experience the game too. So like they've been building up theirs and like learning. But I just think that this game is it really is a masterpiece. I mean, for a $20 price tag, I've gotten every penny worth that I could think of in the game. I mean, and more. And I talked to Tadasu about this game, and I said, this game right here, I think it's at a perfect price point because I think if it was a $60 price tag, I would have never bought the game.
It's not a $60. There's nothing about the game that screams $60. There's not enough to it.
Hmm.
The graphics are 10 years
Subpar.
behind.
Yeah, I would
They're
agree.
not even like cartoony Breath of the Wild type graphics that are real crisp, but still kind of not super high detailed.
Mhm.
Um, so I mean they can't. I mean it's a little five person development team. I think when the game launches, officially launches with all the content, they're probably going to be gearing between the $30 and $40 price range. Um, that is once they've added all the content to the game because it's not done
Yeah.
yet. I mean, it's still early access. We're basically playing a beta
Well,
test right now, so
well, the cool
they
thing
don't even have all the end bosses and stuff in the game yet. So
the cool thing about it, I think, in my opinion, is like you said with the 5-man development team. I mean, how do you think they feel right now?
I think
Four
that they have.
million people
I
have
think that they
purchased.
have they've had 3 games total that have come out.
Mhm.
The second one, no one I don't know anybody that played it, but the first one was Goat Simulator.
Yeah,
So and that game blew up like last summer or the
that
summer
was
before last.
that was PewDiePie, all PewDiePie right there. Because I think PewDiePie has a stake in them.
Oh,
Like he,
probably,
but
probably.
I mean, like I said, this game is a masterpiece. I think it's fun solo. I think it's fun. The whole experience of the game, from
There's a couple
sailing.
of things that I would
Oh,
personally
you
I
could
would
do without.
tweak.
Yeah,
It is a bit grindy, but it's not unfun. A lot of the grind is not unfun.
yeah,
So I think combat could really use a couple of tweaks. I personally don't like not being able to configure the controls to switch how I dodge. That's just me. I think that you should, if you want to be a melee style character, you should be able to melee almost anything, and it seems like you can't. There's a lot of stuff you gotta run back and shoot with a bow and arrow, and I think that that's not fun. So I think that they've addressed that in their comments and stuff. Like there's some things that we're gonna do, and we're gonna change them and fix them up a little bit. Hey Gary, thanks for the like. Um, but again, it's content wise, you said it's about 75% done.
yeah,
And as far as everything else, they're adding more. I mean, it's not done. This
yeah,
is not the
for
final
sure.
product. I've had $20 worth of fun, so I don't really care.
For sure, and I think in my opinion, like, obviously, I have a lot of time in the game. I think I have 50 hours over the last week,
I've got almost
which
20 hours and I've played way less than you guys, like way less
no, that's
days.
what I'm saying. I put 20 hours in last weekend when I first bought the game, and over this week, I've obviously put in 30, and I grinded yesterday, grinded quite a bit, the day before, but the overall experience for me is, even though it is grindy, don't get me wrong, it has its grindy points where, like, hey, you got to go back and forth, getting your material for your next set or whatever it is. It does not feel like a grind. I love the fact that it feels like anywhere you go on the map right now, you can die. Like you're not invincible at all. And I feel like with Minecraft, it kind of, at a certain point in Minecraft, it felt like the monsters were irrelevant. They didn't matter anymore. You weren't going to die. And that to me doesn't have a big factor. Like going over in the swamp, finding oozes, and they jump on top of you and you're poisoned, and all you can do is just sit there and watch your health bar tick down, and you start to slowly cry a little bit because you're like, "Damn it, I'm gonna have to walk back." I love the game. I think I mean, again, I don't think I would have even spent $40 on this game itself just because of I don't think I don't think I ever imagined having this much fun.
I mean, we've all bought games, right? And
Been burnt.
we've all bought early access games, and sometimes those early access games they end up nothing happens with them.
Yeah.
But there have been a couple that I personally have gotten involved in, and they ended up being like a really big deal. And I think that this is going to be one of them. So I mean,
Yeah.
I think that they've got a slam dunk on their hands as long as I mean, let's not kid ourselves. They're going to have to probably get some more people to help with it. That they can't
I'm
continue to
waiting
be
for
this
the
like little
first speed
five.
run.
I mean, they can't keep
Yeah.
doing this little like 5-man team of people and still put out all the updates that they need and still do everything that they're trying to do to get the game up and running full steam
So,
ahead. So
so seeing the overall quality of the game, like I feel like right now at this point, everything is up from here. Um, Obviously, I hope they add some festival stuff to the game. I think that would be neat, and I would even like to see it take a turn for open world, like PvP style down the road.
well, we really have no idea what their actual plans are, right?
No, we
Because when
don't.
you well, I mean, they've got a roadmap, and they said that their next big update is coming out sometime within the next probably month or so. And you can look it online. You can Google it up, look up Valheim roadmap, and it's got like 5 points that they're talking about. Like these are the next 5 updates that we're going to work on,
Yeah,
and some of them sound pretty cool. But one of them on there definitely said like combat improvements. Like they know
yeah,
that their combat is clunky and not
mhm,
always fun. But
yeah.
I think that it's. I mean, we've explored not even 20% of the map,
I
and
wouldn't even say 20. I would say less than 10%.
that means that there's a lot more map out there, right? So
Yeah.
um I wonder what the point of having all that extra map is. You know what I mean? Like if the bosses are all pretty much not too far from where you start, I guarantee you they're going to add stuff into the rest of the world where you have to travel quite a bit to get to the next point. So
So I have heard this. I heard this obviously from an actual video. The Earth is flat in this game. You hit the end, you fall off the
I'm
world.
sure that it wasn't designed that way intentionally.
I know. Well, we were trying to.
It's probably a coding thing at worst, or it
Well,
might be
well,
just like a joke.
well, we were trying to figure out like because me and Tadasu were playing, and we were like, "Well, what happens?" And we actually found out like from the wiki page, like it's like the Earth is flat, you fall off and lose all your stuff. Like there's no way to get it back. But I was telling him, I said, DLC expansions into this game, if down the road, all they would have to do is you beat the 5 bosses, and where the summoning stone is, where you get all your auras at, they make a portal to another world, and then you pretty much go from there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You good?
yeah.
Okay, it's just
Hey Jess, what's going on?
um,
Um, yeah, I mean, I think that the game's fine.
yep,
The way that it is, and honestly, it's well worth the $20, entry fee.
yeah,
I think that long term, they're going to probably try to get it on consoles
that'd be
and
cool. I
and
mean, it
I'm
would be.
sure like they're looking at stuff like the Switch and for portability but I think if you're going to do that, you got to have crossplay. It doesn't do you any good to be like, oh, I can play this on my PlayStation, but I can't play with my friends who have it on PC because I've been hearing
Mhm.
them talk about it for the last 6 months to a year, and now I want to play it and I can't with them. So
Yeah,
I
I agree.
mean, I think that it's just kind of one of those games. So, but
Yeah,
get it up
for
and
sure.
running first on I think on PC and get all your stuff in there added. I think honestly, my final little thoughts about it are, I think that we haven't really seen anything yet, and
Yeah,
honestly, I think what you think is going to be coming in, I think they have a lot more that they want to do that will surprise you.
I
I
mean,
think
I
I think I
agree.
honestly think that this is going to be like a sleeper hit of the year. I think that it'll. I think you will hear about this mentioned next December at the Video Game Awards.
I mean, and in my opinion, I think it would be great for the game. I think, again, I think it's kind of like a sleeper game, like you're saying. I'm comparing it right now to Minecraft. I really am, as far as just how far Minecraft has developed over the years between mods and texture packs, all that jazz. From literally PC being so far ahead to where now PC, Xbox, and all them kind of stay on the same page now. And now they have crossplay, X, Y, and Z. Obviously, I think I'm comparing it. I think this will be the next Minecraft. That's where I see the game. I mean, it might be a bold statement, but I see it as the next Minecraft.
I mean, it's really hard to predict something like that. Minecraft, I think, appeals to a lot of different type of gamers, where I think Valheim does not appeal to the same group of gamers. There are a lot of people I think that would enjoy Minecraft and its simplicity and its blocky textures and its cartoon style stuff. I'm talking about kids here, honestly,
All right, I
who
agree.
I don't think would enjoy Valheim as much, because Valheim has a sense of realism, and even though it's like kind of cartoony, and it's different kind of cartoony. So I think
Oh, for
that
sure, for
Minecraft
sure.
is going to always hit a larger audience. But I think that this game, I mean, they've already hit 4 million players. They're still in early access.
Yeah,
It's personally, I think it's more fun than Minecraft, but for different
I
reasons.
agree. I agree. I think Minecraft is
Minecraft, I feel,
very
is like not grindy. I don't feel like there's nothing grindy about Minecraft. I feel like you can find pretty much everything you want.
the world is your oyster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if as long as you have an idea of where to look for it, you can find it.
Yeah.
So it's but Valheim's a little different. Like, you have to really go out and explore the world and find things, and it can be quite grindy.
So I've currently, I don't know about you. Um so I've been watching a lot of Valheim. I've been watching a streamer I can't remember off the top of my head. Uh and I just see him play the game, and I don't think I've seen anybody quote unquote beat the game yet. I don't think I've seen anybody have all 5 bosses down.
No.
Now, I've seen a lot of people get the 3rd, a lot of people working towards the 4th, but I heard the jump between the 3rd and the 4th boss is pretty insane
Well, the
as far
jump
as
between the second and the third boss is pretty insane. Don't you remember when we started out, we felt
yeah,
pretty good about ourselves. We had just taken down the second boss. We had gotten some materials. We're like, yeah, let's go check out the swamp. And then we go in there and we got destroyed. I mean, it was like total party wipe. And then you missed that night. But while we're in there exploring the swamp, we got attacked by trolls on our base, and
troll
they
raid,
basically
wiped out
destroyed
all
our
your shit.
base while
Yep.
we couldn't get back. They destroyed the portal that we were at, so we were stuck over there, and there was nothing that we could do. So
So I will say the swamp is still scary to this day. I even have the iron armor. It's still scary. But I mean, like I said, I've had that happen too. The swamp is no joke. I heard the other biomes like the plains and the mountains. I heard the mountains is the hardest content so far
currently,
because of how crazy it is, because you work on a timer up there. The only way you can go up into the mountains is have frost resistant potions that last 10 minutes long. So you could down the road go up there, die, don't have any more materials to make more frost resistant potions. Your shit's just stuck up there for until the time being. And it's pretty crazy. Like I said, I've heard the wolves are insane up there, and the only thing I know up there that's up there is wolves. That's it. So
yeah.
the
Well, like I said,
the question.
final thoughts on the game and final words, and then we'll move on to other things. Is I do think you're gonna continue to hear about this. I don't think it's gonna be like Among Us and Fall Guys, and I don't think it's one of those types of games where it comes out and then people are like, oh, this is cool for like 2.5 weeks, and then no one cares anymore.
Correct. Yeah.
Um, I think this one's gonna have some staying power, and mostly because it's not done yet. So
Yeah, I agree. I like I said, the ball's in their court at this point. Um, my final thoughts: 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10 game. It's almost a 10 for me, really. Uh, I think just some of the minor issues in the game, from like chest space and things that are nitpicking. I think at that point, overall, I think this game's a great pickup. And if you have some buddies that are looking for a new game to play, and they were fans of World of Warcraft, Minecraft, anything like that, pick this game up. And even if you're not, pick it up. Get a group of friends to play with. And I don't think you'll be disappointed. I don't think anybody will be disappointed. I haven't heard anybody play the game and say this game sucks. Personally, out of obviously what I've heard, not. I mean, there's definitely got to be somebody out there that's like this game's dog.
Yeah.
So,
Let's
but
see. Other news. Let's see. Pokemon Day was yesterday.
yeah,
Um,
Posty.
so I'm not really sure what that concert was. I mean, it was cool. Pokemon did a virtual concert with Post Malone for those who did not know or who did not get on
Mhm.
the internet. Um, I thought that the content of some of the songs was a bit much for kids, but at the same time, like he's real popular and I mean, they did blurt out any of the bad
Yeah.
words that were in the song, but it was, I mean, it was kind of cool, I guess, to see Post walking around with a Pikachu tail on the back of his coat and interacting with Pokemon, kinda. But from what I understand, that
I
was it was actually live, like he was actually singing, but the cartoon was like, yeah, obviously
imitating.
that's not, yeah, it wasn't like pre-recorded, like he was actually singing,
Yeah, no,
from
you
what I
could tell that,
understand.
bro. You could tell that. I think the virtual concert. So I watched it twice. I watched it the first time live, and I watched the second time through YouTube. Um, I think I think you are right when it comes to like the songs that they played just didn't make sense. Like,
They didn't fit the style of the game. Like,
no, I would have much rather hear him saying like, "I'm gonna be the very best." The Pokemon theme
I'm
song.
actually really disappointed that he didn't.
Yeah,
I could have
and
seen him do like a pretty cool cover of that and like change it up a
yeah,
little bit, kind of put his own flair on it, and that would have been neat.
yeah.
I mean, he sang like 4 or 5 songs. I thought that the one cover he did, I don't remember who originally sang. I thought that one was okay.
Mhm.
But I feel like some of the other songs I just didn't understand, and like even Jess is like, yeah, it was a little bit too much for kids. And I think a lot of times kids they don't really pay attention to what's going on in the songs, right? They're like,
No, they're like,
all
"That's
I know is
motherfucking."
this song has a cool beat and there's a Gyarados in the air, and that's all
That's
they
I
give a
was gonna
shit
say
about.
that's motherfucking Pikachu.
So
Like,
it's, but again, I'm not really even sure how that collaboration came to be, and I can't believe that
I
Nintendo, more specifically, Nintendo or Game Freak didn't have a little bit more say. Like, all right, like you can do whatever songs you want, but like, could you maybe change up the lyrics a little bit? Maybe throw a little Pokemon flair in there. I mean, that's kind of why we invited you. Honestly, I don't dislike Post. Uh, I'm looking forward more to the Katy Perry stuff that's coming out. Honestly, so
I think, like I said, I think it was just like I said, I watched it twice. I had to get a second reaction like to it. First, I'm like, I had this post below. I'm like, this is kind of cool. Virtual concert, never seen one yet. All right, graphics were cool. Obviously, the Gyarados jumping over him. That's all sweet. Like if you just muted the sound of him singing and just had like the instrumental with all this stuff going on. I think it was really cool. And I do kind of see like right now, like with the whole kids thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. Every grown adult in probably America is like, man, I'm gonna go out and buy Pokemon packs, and they all claim to be this Pokemon fan. And obviously, it's the craze right now. It really is. It does not fit the main audience of Pokemon, which is kids.
I agree. I know that there are
Singing,
I know that there are a lot of adults that are really into Pokemon, myself included. Um, and I went out yesterday and I bought some Pokemon cards and I bought a big box and I actually for the first time in the 20 some years since I've been playing Pokemon, my cards are all actually in one spot. I can go to a box and I can go, this is all of my Pokemon cards. So
that's
that, that
awesome.
that's actually really exciting. That's never happened. They are not sorted, but they are all in the same
Yeah,
box. But again, I just that was my biggest gripe with it is that because I feel like you can have an artist come out there like Post Malone or Katy Perry or whoever happens to be popular at the time, and I mean, other musicians have done it where they come out and they do stuff
mhm.
for kids when they're on like a
Yeah,
kids show or they're on Sesame Street or they're doing
yeah,
a concert that is for kids. I mean, heck, you go Google it. Even Snoop Dogg has done concerts that were geared towards kids, and he cleaned it up a little bit. I'm not saying like
yeah.
his song was filthy. I'm not even
No,
implying
no,
that
no.
they
I
weren't.
mean,
I just thought that it was a bit much for
so
kids.
So my thing is so Doctor brought up the Fortnite concert, obviously talking probably about Travis Scott. So Travis Scott got on there and he basically did the whole Astro World and stuff like that. I think, but I didn't ever feel like it didn't fit what was going on. Like Astro World was talking about the Fortnite world. So like it made sense type thing. And they also had Marshmallow. Marshmallow was the first person I think ever to be in a game performing quote unquote live. Like that was him performing live and everything like that. I mean, I have mad respect for anybody that does live concerts and
He
actually
says,
sings and
Dr. Bias
does all
says that
that.
they picked his top three songs. I don't think that that's accurate because I'm pretty sure that that song he did for the Enter the Spider Verse was way bigger than any of the songs he performed
But they
last
can't
night.
play that. They can't
Sure,
play that.
sure they can. It's his song.
They can play Spider-Man song on the Pokemon thing?
It's not it's not a Spider-Man song. It's his song.
I didn't know that. I figured it was owned by.
That's like saying I can't play any song that I've written. That he wrote that song. That's his song.
I'm not. Hey,
Believe me,
hey.
if you put that song on your stream, Post is going to want his $10, and Sony they're going to want their $2 or
Yeah.
$3.
Yeah.
So,
So that's actually kind of funny, and we'll lead into the next topic on that one. Well,
but
after.
did you do anything besides the concert for Pokemon Day? Did you fire up any
So
games? Did you watch
I
any
really,
cartoons? Watch a movie?
I actually just kind of sat around. I watched a close buddy of mine, Concentrated Mind, do Pokemon pack openings because he's one of my favorite people to do it. I would say, quote unquote, he's popular, but he's not. He averages like 50 viewers or so, and he's made a come up on this whole fandom of that. And I absolutely love Pokemon. I'm super excited about the Pokemon Direct that happened, which that
We're
was
gonna talk.
crazy. I mean,
We're gonna actually talk about that next, since we're
that's
on the
fine.
topic
That's
of
fine.
Pokemon. So
That's fine. Pokemon Direct, with the whole obviously the remakes that are coming out, which I'm super excited about. I mean, I couldn't be more excited. And then the open world Pokemon game that's coming out, and like people's reactions to this game. I mean, people screaming, crying, all this stuff. Like mad hyped about this Pokemon stuff that I'm seeing.
Uh, Dr. Bias and anybody else in the audience, did you guys do anything fun for Pokemon Day? Jess says that she played Pokemon Sword. Says she hasn't completed it yet. I actually thought about firing up Shield and playing the DLC, but I got
I
up.
did.
I went to the store, to my game store. I ended up getting a Bulbasaur binder, and I bought a an Alakazam V box because Alakazam is one of my all time favorites. He's probably in my top five. I
Yeah.
found one, guys. I found one. Like I went everywhere else and couldn't find one. And then I ended up also getting the Bulbasaur, or I'm sorry, Venusaur Blastoise V Battle deck. Then I came home and I took all these like little code cards here that come in the booster packs and stuff. I put them on my Nintendo Pokemon Online thing, and I played Pokemon Online for a while. Played some with theme deck battles, and um, it was a good day. But I'll tell you, the biggest chunk of my day, I spent the biggest chunk of my Pokemon day finding all of my Pokemon cards that were broken down in various tins and boxes, and just putting those all
Yeah.
together. But yeah, I ended up picking up that Battle Academy deck thing. That was really cool for $20. Um, but today we're gonna hit a milestone today. Do you know what that milestone is for Nicholas Plays Games?
2 years since you started streaming.
No, actually, I think I've almost passed that, or I may already be past that. Actually, today, once I make a post today, which I will, it'll be the 31st consecutive day in a row of making a post on Instagram.
31 days in a row.
31 days in a row. I
I
have
don't
not
believe
missed.
it.
I have not missed a day. If you go back and count them, there are 30 posts. Now the
All right. Well,
one kind of lapped over because it was almost midnight, but there are 30 posts on there within the last 30 days.
so I guess my question is what was with the 30 posts? Like, what made you want to do that?
Everyone talks about consistency, right, on Instagram and getting
Mhm.
on there and making posts. I've been looking a lot of like my insight data, and that's my posts that are blowing up the most are the things that I like, but I don't like as much as some of the other stuff I post. So anytime I post anything about Fantasy Flight games, Arkham Horror, or Marvel Champions, it blows up. It'll completely destroy any other post that I make and have made over the last like 2 years, as far as people hitting it, sharing it, liking it, etc.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm going through right now. I'm checking a fact check.
it's so weird though, because like I like those games and I like board games and stuff, but I guess maybe I underestimated how big of fan bases Arkham Horror and Marvel Champions have. So I'm not gonna be that guy that, oh, this is what's popular, so I'm gonna keep doing that. No, I mean, I play them, so yeah, I'm gonna post when it's relevant. But I also posted stuff about Pokemon. I posted stuff about Bravely Default 2. By the way, if you guys are into RPGs, get Bravely Default. It's a lot of fun.
Man,
Zelda.
you had a good streak.
What are you talking about?
January 24th messed you up.
Yeah, it did. It did. I was gonna be even further than that. So if you want to know the consecutive posts, if you go clear back to when I posted the Doctor Strange deck,
Yeah,
it's consistent from all the way there. And I only missed like one day, and I would have even more.
yeah,
Um, but like I posted stuff that I thought was cool. Like I posted the Godzilla box set with the toy, and like no one cared. No one clicked on it. No one cared. It was one of the lowest posts I got. I'm like, but I thought it was cool. So I'm not sure what we're gonna post today. Something. Um, but let's go back to that Pokemon Direct. So
yeah.
we talked about it here on the show. The rumor was
Mhm.
Diamond and Pearl getting remakes.
Yep.
Surprise, surprise! They are totally getting remade, and they're coming out
Mhm.
later this year. Uh, Thoughts? Diamond Pearl.
I mean, those are one of my favorites. I think my all-time favorite. I should say that's in my top three Pokemon. Pokemon Platinum being my number one. That was the first one I ever beat.
It's the
Raise,
same. It's the same gen. I mean, it was like the third game that came out
yeah. So
while they were waiting on the next one. So
Platinum being my favorite. Razor Leaf being my second. Just because that was one of the first Pokemon games that I ever really played. That I got that was purchased for myself and myself only. So I remember playing Game Boy Advanced, I think it was, when that one came out. And then what was it? The Pokemon GameCube one, the one that was on the GameCube.
Coliseum.
Yes. I watched my dad spend so many hours on the game. I didn't even get to play the game. It was just fun to watch.
No.
So,
um.
so
So I would say that Diamond Pearl is. I'd say it probably ranks up there as most people's one of their favorite games in the
yeah.
series. Me personally, I think I liked Black White a little bit better. But I tell you, I put hundreds of hours in Diamond Pearl. I actually think I played
Yeah.
Diamond originally. So I think whenever they've been doing like these remakes, I purposely will get the one I didn't get before. So even though I like Dialga better than Palkia, um,
There we
um, I made a one-off Zelda Animal Crossing video last year and posted it, and it was like 3,000 views. I was like, "What?" I understand. Like, I had one post that out of nowhere, and it was like a random thing. I was like, 900 people have viewed this. Why? And it was
Yeah.
like a thing that I just threw on because I thought it would be fun, not because I really thought anybody would care.
Yeah.
But yeah, Diamond Pearl, I think is I actually like the animation style and the little tiny characters and stuff in it. I think that it's I'm actually surprised it's not more like Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu, but
Mhm.
I don't think that that game caught on as well with the fans. And I think if they're going to do remakes from here on out, then I think they're going to try and make them more, I guess, an actual remake and not like, hey, we're going to make the game completely different than what you're used to. So they did
I
DLC
think
for
that's a
Sword
good idea.
Shield. Why do you think? Do you think that there is a possibility that they will include DLC for Diamond Pearl?
No.
It's better than giving us platinum, right? I mean, now I have to buy another game.
I mean, I think I don't think it's a bad idea. I just don't think you'll see DLC. Um, I think they're just gonna basically give you a remake because it seemed like everybody really liked that game. Everybody loved it. I don't know why you would re. reissue out the games and you started there. That's what didn't make sense to me.
I
Um,
think because Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee were um, considered spiritual remakes of Pokemon Yellow, which basically was Red Blue. I'm not sure why they. Again, I'm kind of with you. I'm like, I'm surprised they didn't go with like Gold Silver, but maybe it's because it's been longer since I don't remember.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
I don't remember
Yeah, I
timelines,
mean,
but I feel like
it's
maybe it's
so
just been longer.
my thing is, I think Pokemon's doing right. I think for their overall Pokemon Direct, I think they did a great job. I think with the remake, I don't think you're going to see DLC, but at the same time, you hit us with the KO punch at the open world Pokemon that's coming out. So I don't think you'll see DLC just solely based on what I saw during the direct and what's coming. I just don't see a DLC for it. I don't see the need for it. Just don't.
Just says what's missing from Pokemon now is that you don't have to grind to level them up anymore. And honestly, there's some people I know that they hate the experience share and they turn it off because they like that um they like that feeling of the original game. And me, I think that's terrible. I always thought that it was a terrible
Well,
mechanic in the game because like you'll have one guy and he'll be level 28 and then your next closest guy will be level 5 and
well,
I don't want to have to
um,
keep throwing him in and out and then not
well,
actually
that's what I was
battling with
gonna
him. It
say.
doesn't make any sense.
There's no different than that. I mean, that's the whole point for me is you how many times you would just he's your starter, so you
Yeah.
put him in at first, and then you'll throw your 28 in. He'll beat the shit out of the guy, and then bam, okay, cool, and let's just keep doing this rinse and repeat action for the next 6 hours. So because they'll never catch up, they just won't. Um, but at the
There's
same
actually
time,
a pretty hardcore way that a community of people I follow they play, and how they play is if when you're playing your game, and they said if you want to really mix it up and make the game a little bit more challenging and play with characters you don't normally play with, they said you can play any character that you can catch in the game or whatever or trade for, but if that character gets knocked out, you can't use them ever again. It's almost like they
you
died.
can you go out and recatch him?
Nope.
So if my like Monchamp died, you can't
Yep.
go out and catch a new one.
Nope. Or any of his evolutionary line either. So yeah, if you have Pikachu and you're like, oh man, Pikachu is the greatest, and then your Pikachu gets knocked out by Brock, sorry, you can't have Raichu ever. And they said that it's pretty fun because it adds to the challenge of, like I said, you'll actually play with Mons you've never played with before, or that you're like, because you kind of have to. And then I guess the likelihood of you being so terrible that every single evolutionary line in the game gets knocked out, I'd say it's probably unlikely because there's usually like 300 or more characters in each game. So anyone that's wanting to like kind of mix it up on Pokemon and try it a little bit more challenging, I guess you could call it like the hardcore mode. Is try that mode
Yeah,
right there,
that's tough.
and see how you do. You may like it, you may not. They
Yeah,
also there's another one that they do. It's called the Wonder Method, and what they'll do is if your character gets beat in battle, so if he gets knocked out, the guy that got knocked out, you Wonder trade them away, and whatever you get back, that's who you have to play with.
it's not bad.
And
Uh,
I'm like, I guess I can see because the
that
game is really not hard. It hasn't been hard since we figured out how to read. Um,
that reminds me of a guy. So that kind of method of play. The one guy, he's playing Valheim right now. His name's Quinn69. He's a big popular WoW streamer, but he's pretty much taking a break from WoW. He's just playing like Valheim right now. He's doing every death, he deletes the world, and he gives out 1,500 subs to his channel. Like,
wow.
I mean, every time he dies, and he has to play solo, no help, no nothing. You should have seen him trying to defeat the third boss. I thought he was gonna like he because the third boss I think is immune to arrows, so you can't sit back. I'm getting a follow. That actually scared the shit out of me. Uh,
Baby Yoda likes
Baby
Mike
Yoda
Hunt.
likes Mike Hunt. Ha 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 ha. Good one. So original. Um,
Jess says I'm trying to reawaken my love for the Pokemon games. I'll be honest. I think this year is going to be the year, right?
yeah.
I think that I think Diamond Pearl is going to hit the right nostalgia places, and
Mhm.
let's talk about Pokemon Snap. How are you into the taking photos of the Pokemons?
It's all right. I mean, it's for me. It's not for me. I don't take pictures in general. So that's not the app for me.
I loved the N64 game when it came out. Loved
Yeah.
it. I was surprised at how much fun the game actually was. I mean, no, there's no battling, and you collect. You just collect in a different way. But I think it'll be kind of fun just to kind of see the world and the characters interacting. I again, I know what's going to end up happening is I'm going to play this game hardcore for like 2 weeks and then be like, I don't care anymore. Um, but I am excited for it. But I guess the biggest news, because we already knew about the Snap, right?
Yeah.
Was is the open world
Yeah.
Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Yeah. I mean, from what I've seen, obviously what I saw from Pokemon Direct, it basically looks like they're going to give us the Sword and Shield vibe again, but even better. Like you blew our mind with Sword and Shield. I think
So
everybody.
I mean, they basically took the wild area, right? And they said we're gonna make the whole world the wild area, and we're gonna take all those like little portal things out, those little dens, and you can actually just walk around. My only thing, and again, I know the game's not done. My only thing that I was not excited about when I saw it was, man, you could see those frames dropping under 30 frames per second on some of those video clips. Like it looked
I,
rough.
I think. I think that's going to be the biggest challenge when you rock with something like this. Because I mean, the Nintendo Switch isn't that powerful of a console. I mean,
No, I
it's
mean
got
it's
juice.
it's
It's
ba-
got
it's
juice.
it's basically it's a tablet.
But you gotta
It's got a mobile it's got mobile chipset in it.
But you gotta look at, people that play on the light and stuff like that. Like, you gotta look at that kinda stuff. I mean, obviously, the smaller the thing, but it's gonna take a lot of power. I think this game has unlimited potential, but I also think it has the potential to be overhyped slash it doesn't hit all the points that we want. I think this is something that they're kinda stepping out of their comfort zone a little bit. Obviously, they've dabbled in Sword and Shield, and they knocked it out of the park, home run. But it's a whole different beast.
This
And
is I think this was the most surprising out
yeah.
of everything because I mean we knew that we were getting another new game and
Oh, I
besides
mean,
a
that's
remake, I mean we knew that.
as long as Pokemon doesn't go out of business, we're always going to get a new game every few years.
But it makes you kind of wonder like, all right, so hypothetically speaking, let's say that the Legends Arceus is a home run and people love it because it mixes up the formula. It's a little bit different than like the same game we've been playing since 96.
Yeah.
uh do you think that this is a thing that they will continue doing? Because like with the surname uh Pokemon Legends, it almost is like, hey, this is a spin-off, kind of like Pokemon Dungeons, right? That we may visit later again in the future. I have a hard time thinking this is the where they're going to take the series. I don't. I think that people just like that
Oh,
the
I
old
don't
school
think
game.
I think I think they're going to still keep giving you that old school theme. Obviously this is going to be a big open world. I still think it will have uh you'll have objectives. You'll have shit you got to do. um I don't know. I don't think this is a bad route to take because I think Sword and Shield gave us the best of both worlds. I think we were spoiled with it. You gave us an open world to catch Pokemon and see them out and about because fuck running through the grass and seeing your 99th Zubat in the mountains again. Like it sucked. It was either a Weedle or a Zubat. That's why you felt you saw for the first three bosses, and it sucked. Um, I mean, to be able to actually see the guys pop up and see a big ass Gyarados in the water, you're like, I need to catch it. I don't know how I'm going to catch it, but I need to catch it.
And like the
Uh,
best part about it was is like you already have Gyarados. You don't even
yeah,
need that Gyarados. You're like, but I need that one because it's
yeah,
there and I can catch it.
yeah,
So
and that's the thing. I mean, and then you add in the nostalgia factor of the same game, like you said, you've been playing since whatever '96. Um, like it's great. Like you're like, oh, I got to go beat some gym leaders. I got to like
I wonder
their
I wonder
ass
if
needs
Brock
kicked.
came out of retirement and he's going to be the gym leader now. Let's go find out.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Like, don't get me wrong, I think the only downside, in my opinion, for Sword and Shield was the stadium battles all the time, just kept fighting in the stadium every time.
I liked the live audience and the crowd and the cheers and stuff. I thought that was kind of cool. I didn't dislike VMAX. I thought that it was fun. I think that the Mega Evolutions were more fun. But I also don't think you're going to see. You have not seen the end of Gigantamaxing and VMaxing and Mega Evolutions.
Gigantamax.
Um, I like I personally I kind of like that they mix it up and they do some new stuff to kind of keep you on your toes, because if it's just the exact same thing, and there was a lot of people that agree with you that the stadium battles were kind of like meh, but I still felt like all the bosses themselves and the gym leaders, the
Yeah,
battles themselves were interesting.
it was cool. I would have just much rather fought in different areas. Like I said, I like the still puzzle factor. Every time you get to a boss, you got to go through like a puzzle maze type thing. I think that's awesome. I just think that they could have done a little bit more, because it just kind of felt like by the time you hit the fifth boss, you're like, "Yay, I get to walk into the stadium."
My other half hates the fact that the Pokemon aren't the correct size compared to your character. I mean, it's a minor complaint.
All right, so here's what you need. You need to add Gigantamax to your actual player, and they actually duke it out. No more Pokemon, just actual fist fight, like WWE Pokemon style.
I actually imported a Celebi, right? And my
Mhm.
Celebi can do no damage. I designed him to just go to VMAX raids, and all he does is heal and put up shields, and that's all he does. So, because I mean, like they called them raids. I'm like, well, what do we do in raids? We had like a tank and we had a healer and et cetera, et cetera. So I'm like, I'm gonna be a healer because you couldn't really do that. So, um, but I think that the open world is going to be kind of cool and it's going to be interesting. I think so. I think it's going to be a good year for Pokemon. They've got some other like 25th anniversary stuff going down. The the oversized, I don't know, but the if you heard, but like the oversized like retro cards, they're coming out this year. Um, so I don't know that all the scalpers will buy those like crazy because you can't put those in your in your deck. But unfortunately,
That it look crazy.
those packs do come with booster packs, so maybe the scalpers will buy them too. So
I'll put it this way: what you said about what Meyer was doing, I think that's the best thing we can do right now. You got to limit people. I don't care if they have to walk their happy ass out the store and then walk right back in. That's fine. Um, but the scalpers need fixed, and I know Pokemon right now is doing their best to stop it by just mass printing these cards into oblivion, so these scalpers get really, I mean, caught holding the bag, because seeing all these cards go for $500-$600, I'm sorry, like I'm not paying that. I would never pay that for a card.
no,
Not for a current gen card that just came out of an expansion. Like, I think, I mean, what's probably the most expensive card that you can think of in your whole Magic career? When it came out, it was worth more than 150
like the day that it came out.
day that it came out, or even like
Um,
whatever said the week of. I mean, have you seen
in
any
most
card?
recent years, but they would always be like a foil of like
Yeah,
a normal card, not like a normal card. But I'm telling
you
you,
got
man, some of the standard cards over the last, especially when Arena hit, man, some of the standard cards that were just normal rares, they jumped up 50, 70, $100, like Teferi, and he was not the
but
mythic one, the rare one, because he was good in standard, he was good in legacy, he was good in extended, he was good basically everywhere. So, but does that happen
but
very often? No. Like $500-$600? No.
no, I mean, but that's my thing. Because you got to look at it from a Pokemon like a foil Charizard is equivalent to a Magic Mythic, whatever, no foil. They just do foils. They've always done foils, so why would they change up now? That's my thing with it. Is you have these people with these cards, and they have no intent of doing anything. Like, I mean, I know people that have legitimately not done anything since the pandemic hit, like no job, no nothing. They've been buying Pokemon cards and basically turning it for profits and making a shit ton of money because they're selling these shiny fates packs because they have the inside. for $20 a pack, $25 a pack. And majority of the time, even if they have the best pull rates out of their whole entire box, I mean, they're profiting 400 or 500 bucks per box that they get.
Well, I'm still on the lookout for just one elite trainer box of the Shining Fates, and not because I give a shit about VMAX Charizard and I want to sell it. I actually want the Eevee promo that comes in the box because
Yeah.
I like Eevee. I missed out on the Champions Path, but I want the promo. Getting the
Yeah.
packs would be cool, but I so anybody out there in the Ohio area that happens to be around and if they see a Shining Fates Elite Trainer box for around retail, I would happily buy that off of you.
I
So
mean, I just think, like I said,
I
I think
spent the entire day that the set released looking, and I mean I hopped around even to some places that I don't normally like to go and couldn't find one. So like
that I don't like to go.
all the regular stores around here they've been sold out for a little while. Let's
Yeah.
see. Can you play the Pokemon card game online without buying packs in stores? Yes. You get more bang for your buck by buying packs in stores, but you absolutely can play the online card game without buying a single booster pack or a deck or tin or anything. So
Yeah.
it kind of works in a very similar vein to Arena, in that when you win or you do certain things, you get like the in-game currency, and then
Mhm.
you can use that in-game currency to buy packs and stuff. But I will say that the rate is horrible. And if you're going to go in there and try and play standard, you're going to get absolutely destroyed. You are not going to have a good time. You're going to go in there with your Pikachu theme deck, like, yeah, let's do it. And you will get trounced. You will be like,
Yeah.
I hate my life. I don't know why I do this.
Well,
But
yeah.
they do give you a bunch of free stuff when you start. So I would say get on, play with the theme decks, do theme deck battles. You can complete
And
most of your quests that way, and you'll have fun doing it.
so I will say this as well, Doctor. If you're really looking to, play online, best thing I can recommend, go on eBay, and stuff like that.
So you see
People are
these things
selling.
here? Last couple years ago, I bought like a ton of these on eBay, and I think I got a stack of like 50 of them, and they sold them for like $1 a piece. Now they might be worth more now. I don't know. But you could what they'll do sometimes is they'll send you the codes like almost immediately.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait for them to get mailed or anything like that. So I mean, if you're looking for a deck or whatever, because I mean, like these little insert card things, like he's saying, is these people are cracking up packs trying to get like the shiny VMAX Charizards and stuff. They don't care about this little code. They don't play online, so they
So
don't care.
so the online codes, I'm just kind of looking this up. I want to say, so my one, like I said, the one guy that I watch a lot of, he sold a stack of 300 packs for 30 bucks. 300.
These have probably gone down in value, mostly because of the mass amount of packs that have been opened.
Yeah, I mean,
The
he's
only ones
selling.
I think that'll probably be like keeping their value pretty good
Yeah,
is probably the Shining Fates one, because you cannot buy
yeah,
those packs online.
yeah. So I would say overall, like, if you're looking to get into it, look at buying codes online through eBay. Obviously, get it through a reputable person. There's also like a website out there, I think, that actually specializes in those codes. They buy them off other people. They verify the codes. I don't know how they do it. They have some kind of way to verify them, and buy them off there. Pokemon's. I know the online game is still pretty big, and I know a lot of people that still play daily.
I never had any problems getting a match.
Yeah.
So like when I even no matter which format I was playing, if I was playing the theme deck battles, because like they give you a bunch of like theme decks that you can play with, and
Mhm.
if you've ever bought any of the theme decks ever and put the codes on there, you can use any of those theme decks you've ever bought in theme deck battles. So yes, some of the theme decks are better than others, but like I think after you win like 12 games against the computer with a particular theme deck, they give you a booster plus a couple other things. If you want the bigger prize payoffs, that you got to play against normal people, unfortunately. And it amazes me how much like you'll start out and you got this cool deck, or at least you think it's cool, and you have like no game wins, right? Or you've lost 40 matches in a row, and your best card in your deck is like not one of those full art G Max or whatever cards. And they will continually pair you up with people who don't have a normal basic Pokemon in their deck. So you will just keep getting trounced. That's why I said you got to just look at it as like not getting frustrated in that
I
sense.
can agree. I can
Do theme
agree.
deck battles until you feel like you've got some cards, or buy these little code card thingies super cheap off of the internet. Um, I would sell you mine, but I actually play the online game. I collect the real cards and I play online. So
Yeah, I think overall, I think yeah, your best bet is obviously to go that route. I wouldn't go much any other route. Obviously, you're not going to find packs in the store. You're just not. But don't get me wrong, everybody out there, since you can get so many packs for such a cheap price, everybody has the most bomb thing out there. It's kind of like playing MTG Arena. It feels like no matter what division you're in, everybody has all these like top 8 decks because it takes nothing to craft them, takes nothing to get the cards.
well, that's again something else I don't like is that you can't. There's no like wild card
Yeah.
thing in Pokemon Online.
Yeah, it's pretty much
There,
whatever you draw out of the packs, and that's
there are certain things about Arena that I like better than I like about Pokemon, and there are certain things about the Pokemon thing I like better than Arena. Like if I go out and buy the collector's edition tin of Charizard, and it
yeah,
came out, I'm gonna get a little code inside the box that's gonna give me the cool promo Charizard so I can play it online. And
yeah,
I'm also going to get a code in every single pack that came in that thing to where I can at least get some more cards online. When I got my Alakazam V box, I got the promo code for the Alakazam V, so now I have him. And then I got 4 booster packs online, codes for those two. And every product that they put out, every single product that they put out has a code in it.
yeah,
So and for the stuff that's like promos and limited edition box sets and stuff, you're basically going to get what you put into it. So if you kind of like it, I think that you can't go wrong just buying the little code things. Personally, if you don't want a whole bunch of like physical
I
Pokemon cards sitting around your house,
I could agree because yeah, as soon as you get the codes, you can literally shred those things and throw them in the garbage if you wanted.
I think McDonald's they don't have a code for their little
Yeah,
promo cards, but they're not online, so it doesn't matter. So
true. Oh man, Pokemon filled day.
well, Pokemon Valheim filled day. I think that that's kind of like what's been taking up a lot of our
That well,
lives
that's the
right now.
hot. I mean, that's the hot commodity right now. I mean, it really is. Between
Yeah.
those two, it's the hot thing. Um, but yeah, I mean, that's really all I wanted to talk about today. I was actually kind of excited for the show today. I was like, we got Pokemon and we got Val, two of my favorite things in the whole wide world.
So, Dr. Bias, if you want to actually get some games in, I have several decks that don't have any of those giant VMAX shiny Pokemons that I will happily play you with if you want to get some games in. But
I don't remember how to play Pokemon. That's the sad thing.
it's super easy. I like it,
Energy, energy, energy.
basically, yeah, but man, so like I'll tell you what it was like. I finally got up to 12 wins, right? I won't tell you I lost to finally get 12 wins, but I finally got up to 12 wins, and it seemed like every match I went into, this guy drops down a guy that's got like 320 hit points. Like that's a basic. Granted, if you knock him out, you get to draw 3 prize cards. That's like half your total prize cards. But by the time that he gets rolling, he just one shots every single guy that you've got, so you don't care. So a lot of those decks they roll in like to get their wins because they're playing a lot of people like me who don't have any good cards, who don't have any of
Yeah,
those like big ass Pokemon that. So and again, like once they get them rolling, you lose. There's nothing that you can do about it. So
yeah.
they get a lot of easy wins that way. So meh,
I'm excited. I may even try it out. I've
dude, it's free. Who cares? It doesn't
yeah. I
cost
was saying
anything. It's a
I
download.
may,
There you go. Get you a download.
I may. That actually doesn't sound too bad.
But you will be frustrated. You'll be like, this is bullshit. I've seen that stupid Pikachu team up card with Zekrom like 100 times today, and you're just gonna want to pull your hair out because he's good.
Doc said in 15 minutes you're gonna
Yeah,
play with him.
yeah, I'll play with
Okay.
him. We can
I
do
would say
theme deck. We can do
well,
theme deck battles.
I was gonna say we're about at time too. So
Yeah, we're about done.
So, but I mean, overall, I think this week was, like I said, Pokemon Valheim filled. I feel like the hype's still there. Um, and I think next week, I don't think anything crazy is happening that we know of. But you never know with gaming;
Um,
it could change really quick.
it's hard to say. I mean, Bravely Default 2 came out, so pretty cool. I
Mhm.
like it. Um, my gaming interests are like stretched out in every single possible direction. Like I just don't have time
Yeah,
to do everything that I want to do.
my
So
brother gave his whole Pokemon collection to my son. That's dope. Just make sure if there's a shiny Charizard in there that you take that away. That is yours. That's yours.
I actually sent a picture around yesterday of like the mess that was on my counter. And you're familiar with collectible card games and like the storage boxes. So you know the like the 4-row boxes and then the
Hmm.
5-row boxes. So my entire collection now almost fills an entire one of those 5-row boxes.
That's a lot of
I
cards.
didn't even realize that I had that many cards because of the way that it was all
Well,
broke down.
we go through spurts where you buy a ton of packs and a
Mm-hmm.
ton of those tins. Where the tins, I mean, that's 60. I think they're 60 card decks. I
Mm-hmm.
can't remember. I mean, it can fill up quick. It really can.
The this probably won't surprise you, but 2 rows of the box are old cards from base set, jungle, neo, fossil. It's like all the stuff when Wizards of the Coast still had it, and I think energy, and the rest of it's just like stuff. Like I didn't even realize I had that much stuff.
That's all you need, man. That's all you need.
I got all the foil cards in the Bulbasaur folder though.
That's dope.
That I own. So not all of them are really great, but I found more promos and stuff I didn't even know I had by going through
That's
the
good. That's good. You
by going
found
through
them.
the thing. I found a ton of stuff. I'm like, I had this. That's cool. And I put it in my binder. So I feel pretty special. Anyway, we're done with Pokemon and Valheim today.
Hey, welcome to the Pokemon Valheim stream. Well, hopefully see you stream some matches. You should definitely get some matches in with the
You
doc.
want me to stream some
Yeah,
Pokemon?
why not?
Some of this frustration of me just getting mad and
Yeah,
I have some very choice words for some of the games. Like, what the fuck you mean? Every Pokemon you got costs $5 or more? This is bullshit.
yeah, that's what I would do.
I scream a
Um,
lot at my computer, so
well, I should be maybe possibly live tonight. Don't know yet. And I don't really have a schedule for next week. But yeah, that's my life for the.
If I manage to get together a standard deck that wins 30% of the time, yeah, I'll probably start streaming Pokemon.
I like it. I like it.
But as is right now, the 2 best decks I have, they just don't win that much. The one's a Charizard deck, and the other one is a surprisingly enough, it's a Raichu deck. So
Yeah,
the time that it actually worked and went off, I could just tell that my opponent was like, "Fuck this kid."
and man, Jess just hit us with the emotes right there. Those are sweet.
Yeah, I
All
like
those
all the
emotes are.
I love all the little emotes. So, final thoughts for the day. Who's your favorite Pokemon?
Oh, easy Bulbasaur.
All time favorite is Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur, easily.
Okay.
First ever
Okay.
starter Pokemon I chose. Fuck Charmander. Fuck Squirtle.
Yeah, Bulbasaur's pretty dope. I think the first one I ever picked was Squirtle. I
I
wouldn't
know
say
I
he's
did.
my favorite, but I like him.
Yeah.
Jess went with Gengar and Jolteon. Those are good. Those are good solid choices. I gotta go with Jigglypuff. It's always been Jigglypuff.
Well, also my other favorite. It's Bulbasaur. Or who is the main guy from Platinum?
Dialga or not Dialga. Giratina.
Giratina.
Yep.
He was like the phantom looking guy.
Mm-hmm. Giratina.
That was also one of my
He looked
favorites.
kind of like a
Because
those
I
like
bought
little
the.
arms and stuff.
I still have the theme deck for that on Pokemon
Do
trading
you?
card game.
Do
Yeah,
you? That's awesome.
yeah. I love
I
that
bet you
card.
that deck is actually not terrible. You probably could win some theme deck battles.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites by far. Because I used to beat you guys down with that deck
That
because
deck
that deck was
was way better than
stupid.
some of the other decks. It just
Yeah,
was.
and
Um,
plus the coin that came with it was sweet too. So
that's okay. She says no one ever is going to pick Trubbish. That's not true. They did that survey a while back. Every Pokemon in existence is someone's favorite Pokemon. Everyone. I don't think that there was some that only like maybe 1 or 2 people picked out of like the 10,000 people that they interviewed or whatever, but like even
Yeah.
Trubbish is someone's favorite Pokemon. Might only be one guy.
There's somebody out there.
Yeah, for the cartoon and the games and stuff, I'd have to go with Jigglypuff. It's probably still my all-time favorite. I mean,
It's a
don't get me
good one.
wrong, Gengar, Eevee, I love those guys too. But in the card game, it's Wigglytuff because that was the first deck I ever had that I beat all the little kids with it and took all the prizes, and I won tournaments with that thing.
You're so proud.
I am proud. The way that I played back then is the way that people beat me now. So
That's all you gotta do. Your mom can't save you now. I have more money.
oh man, I used to get so much hate. I'd go to those tournaments and I'm like 20, 21 years old and I played in all ages tournaments. It's not like I went to the little kid tournament and I'm the only adult there. Um like there was other like teenagers and stuff playing there, but man, I'll never forget this little 8-year-old girl. I mean I absolutely destroyed her in like 2 turns. And her mom got pissed at me and yelling at me like, "Do you feel really good about yourself beating up on my kid?" And I was like, "It's an all ages tournament, and yeah, actually, I feel like a winner right now."
I mean, I can punch your kid
I
because it
mean,
would be equivalent to how bad your ass just got beat.
have you watched the anime or played the video games? Usually, it's pretty one sided. You go in to the fire gym with a bunch of Squirtles, you're gonna win.
Shocker.
But I mean, I had a job. I could buy stuff. So all the prizes that I won, I gave away to the kids. Like when Neo
Nah.
Genesis came out, I won a first edition box of that. But then I played in 2 other tournaments where that was the prize. Well, after a booster box, I didn't need any more of it, so I gave all the packs away. I kept my one.
I bet you're salty about that.
Oh man, a box of first edition Neo Genesis is worth probably like $5,000 or $6,000 now.
You missed out.
But I gave it away because that's not really what it was about.
There's some kid that you gave it to that you probably absolutely pummeled, and he's sitting on like a fortune now.
I didn't give them the sealed box, basically, because like only first and second place got something. Like
Yeah.
first place was a box, and then second
That's what we
place
need to
was
do.
like
When the
half
world
a
opens,
box.
when the world opens back up, we are going to be Pokemon masters and beat on little kids. Those
So
two nerds take over Pokemon kids.
what I did was I'd crack open the box and I just split up the packs to everybody that was there, like, because no one could beat me.
I'm unstoppable.
The one guy actually got on the internet and he found a Blastoise deck, and I beat that deck too. So, and that deck was pretty good at the time because my deck was it was fast, and then you get the double colorless, and then you win. Like you guys have played against the deck, you know. And then when everyone was like, "Hey, can you come up with a different deck?" I did, and that was the one that was all energy removals and super energy removals and poison you and watch you die really slow. So that was almost as bad. The difference was that you basically just sat there and did nothing, and you're thinking you're powering up, and then I just take away all your energy and poison you. So yeah,
Toxic.
I was a jerk. So yeah, lady, I feel like a winner right now? Yes, lady.
All
right, we're at an hour and 8 minutes of actual stream time. We're gonna wrap this up now.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys all so much. Episode 82 in the books. Pokemon
82.
Valheim week. Pokemon Direct was awesome. I want to hear you sing an actual song that was Pokemon related, but it's okay. We still forgive you. We still love you.
I hope
thank you
Katy
guys.
Perry covers that song. I'd be cool with that.
Thank you guys all so much for all that you do, showing support, love, chatting. We love you all so much. I am Vera Coach.
And I am Nictus from Nictus Plays Games.
And we are signing off. Stay classy, San Diego. Or nerdy. I messed it up. Messed my own catchphrase up. But hey.
Yeah, you fucked it up. It's all right.
That's all right.
I'm hungry. It's pasta time.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Have a good one. Thank you all so much. And I don't even know if he's doing the intro, so I'm just going to start singing.